Good morning, hero. It's Bri again. Finished a set of burpees. Again, pardon the heavy breathing. I will target swipe that with you now. Today I want to chat about self-mastery and the three different types of disciplines that I think go into self-mastery. Structural, reactive, and expansive discipline. We're going to talk more about that. We will look at my aura score briefly. We're going to have some fun. All right, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, again, heroic.us. Check out the app. You can try it out for free. We move you from theory to practice to mastery in your energy, your work, and your love. Early pilot study of the app. Launched it on day 1, a scientific study. On day 30, we collected the data. Really excited that the early data shows that if you use Heroic for as little as 3 minutes a day, hitting as little as 3 targets a day, you, if you're like those who experience these benefits, on average, may boost your energy by 40%, your productivity by 20%, your connection by 15%. Learn more at heroic.us. Learn more, or just download the app in the iOS or Android stores. All right, so let's come back. Self-mastery. We talked about the fact that we started the app build with our virtue compass because life is all about putting your virtues in action. A good life, that is. Ancient wisdom, modern science agree. Wisdom. I know the ultimate game and how to play it well. Again, we talk about this a lot in my work. But then you got to have the self-mastery to actually play that game well today. Not someday, not even today, but right now. Which is why I tattooed my body with arete, which is that Greek word that means expressing the best version of yourself moment to moment to moment. When you live with arete, you experience a deep sense of joy. So, self-mastery. As always, we've got tools to help you engage in a deeper level of self-mastery. We have quotes. There we go. Dr. J. Being a professional is doing the things you love to do on the days you don't feel like doing them. Thank you, Dr. J. David Reynolds from a book called Constructive Living. One of the best short books I've ever read. Dan Millman, friend of mine, recommended it to me forever ago. We're going to be linking all these quotes, by the way, to the Philosopher's Notes, which we are in the process of integrating into the Heroic apps. We've got one app experience, Optimize and Heroic. David Emerald, for victims, the focus is always on what they don't want. The problems that seem constantly to multiply in their lives. Creators, on the other hand, place their focus on what they do want. I take that one step forward and say, look, you got to move from victim to creator to hero. The hero practices something we call targeted thinking. What do you want? Stop complaining. What do you want? All right, perfect. Target set. And what do you need to do to get it? Then, of course, go do it. Anyway, bunch it over the quotes here. We will skip that for today. We got a bunch of tools as well. Let me go to the theory section, actually, and show you how we talk about self-mastery in basic training. And then I do need to hit some targets, and I'll hit them with you. So we've got these 7 objectives. This is the distillation of my life's work. 25 years of thinking and practicing these ideas distilled into about 10 hours. 7 objectives, bunch of micro lessons, starting with knowing the ultimate game, forging anti-fragile confidence, where you get stronger with every obstacle you face, optimizing your big 3, your energy, your work, and your love, simplifying self-help and personal growth, making today, not someday, but today a masterpiece, then mastering yourself. It's within this objective of self-mastery, or mastering yourself, in which we talk about self-mastery. At its core, self-mastery is all about using our willpower wisely to install habits that run on autopilot. You don't want to have to think about everything you do all day, every day, which is why we created the app the way we created it. I want to make it easy for you to train yourself and your basal ganglia to make it harder for you not to do the good stuff than to do it. Then when you do that, you have what I call, leaning on some wisdom from my dear coach, Phil Stutz, structural, reactive, and expansive discipline. Again, we go into detail on this in basic training, but structural discipline is basically the protocol you set for your life. This is what the app is built on. What do you do when you're at your best in your energy, your work, and your love? I'm going to show you more on what I do in a moment, right? Then you got to have the discipline to do those things you do when you're at your best, when you're at your worst. And you know what happens when you do what's best for you, when you least feel like it? You cultivate an anti-fragile confidence. You trust yourself and you know you get stronger when you feel bad. So structural discipline is really, really important. That leads to reactive discipline. Reactive discipline is basically stepping in between stimulus and response. Your kids are being your kids and you're getting upset. Can you step in between that stimulus and choose a better response? Your colleagues doing the same thing, or someone cuts you off on the freeway. Whatever it is, from small to big, structural discipline is one thing. Reactive discipline is another thing. You got to flip the switch and know that, as Viktor Frankl says, in that gap between stimulus and response, right in that gap between a stimulus and response is your freedom. Choose wisely. Close the gap. Be your best self. That's reactive discipline. Now, I'll tell you what, it's a lot easier to have good, strong, heroic reactive discipline when your structural discipline is high, when you're eating and moving and sleeping and taking care of yourself and feeling energized and responding to your 1,000-second timer going off. You're well-resourced. It's easier to be a good human being. Structural, reactive, expansive discipline. Expansive discipline is the discipline to go out of your comfort zone again and again and again and again and again. When you feel that fear, when you feel that anxiety, when you feel that pressure, what do? Do you collapse or do you expand? You want to get in the habit of expanding. Bring it on. I want to get a little bit stronger today. Boom. I'm going to eat that obstacle like an energy bar. I'm going to quit running away from and avoiding my problems. I'm going to go straight at them. I'm going to approach my problems, which again, science says, and we talk about in this lesson and throughout our work together, is the hallmark of happy, flourishing people. Quit avoiding your problems. Approach them. Exercise expansive discipline. Those are the key facets of self-mastery as I teach it in basic training. But now let's go and actually hit some targets here, folks. So maybe tomorrow I'll show you the pre-commitment routine. So in the morning, before while my aura ring is syncing, I basically, literally like the aura score is being calculated, right? And I'm tapping our app. I'm committing to being the best version of myself in my energy, in my work, and in my love. And after I finish that, I see this. I see my identity in energy, disciplined athlete. I see the virtues. And then I see my identity in work and the virtues. But I had to tap those, and I had to, in literally a minute, just tap, recommit to being that best version of myself, not someday, but today. Then I commit to the targets I'm going to hit, and it's that simple pre-commitment protocol that science proves works. And when you combine that pre-commitment with actually having a checklist of behaviors you know you engage in when you're at your best, with actually doing that, you can create some magic. Really simple stuff. Few minutes a day in the app can be absolutely, fundamentally, and permanently life-changing. So, here's what I've done. I've got my identity, I've got my virtues, and then I've literally breadcrumbed my day. All the things I do when I'm at my best. And during the day, I come in and I hit them. So I'm in bed for 9 to 10 hours every day. That is my number one fundamental practice for my energy. I've discovered, as you may have, that I'm just a different person when I don't get a great night of sleep. Therefore, that is my number one self-care habit. It's what I do non-negotiably every single day. Changed my life. So I put that at the top. That's my number one commitment. I already hit it, so I don't need to swipe that again. I just meditated for 30 minutes, which is what I do after I have a great night of sleep. I'm feeling good. I'm connecting to my daimon. And now I'm ready to move throughout my day, right? And I got a bunch of different things I'm going to do today. Digital sunset, I'm going to meditate in the PM. Right now I just got a 3-minute while I'm in the cold plunge meditation. During my meditation, I did breath training. I also sat on a PEMF machine we have while using a nano-V technology thing that my wife tells me is awesome. I do what she tells me to do, folks. Then I did what I call my AM opening series. I did my first set of burpees. I will hang from a tree after doing pull-ups and do 11 hanging leg crunches. That's a new habit. That 1,000-second timer goes off, boom, I get up. I do 77 burpees by the time I'm done with my first deep work block. Then I take a break while trading a oscillation. I hit my trail. I do something called blood flow resistance training. Playfully, people ask me about my arms. BFR, folks, BFR. Very low carbs and BFR. I've done sun salutation already this morning. I will do 10 pull-ups, 100 burpees, 1,000 meters of rowing, 10,000 steps. Again, if you follow my work, you know that I've said this countless times. I've done this for years. Well, now I've got it in the app, and I'm just dominating it all day, every day. My aura score is influenced in large part by a lot of things. I hit 101 targets a day, but I have my last bite. Target is 4 hours before I go to bed. We know that cleaning your brain out, glymph, comes in when you don't eat late. So if you're eating late, you're not sleeping great. You want to eat a little bit earlier, allow that digestion process, which is really intense energetically, to occur earlier such that you can get a great night of sleep. I also do a cold plunge a couple hours before I go to bed, which is incredibly helpful for me to reboot the resting heart rate and HRV. Anyway, 92, 91. Aura score was actually a little bit messed up today. They missed some data. Oops. But I'm happy with it. When my heart rate variability is higher than my resting heart rate, I'm winning. Let's go. There was little gaps right here, which influenced the sleep score and stuff like that, but whatever. I will take it. Those are some of the habits I'm going to hit today. In my energy, 40% more energized, folks, when you figure out what you do when you're at your best and you do it more consistently. Now, how about my work? I've already hit some work targets. So, work. I got a lot of virtues here. I want to show up as a heroic philosopher CEO. I'm going to be re-engaging in the philosopher side of things, which is why I have the exclamation point there. I am fired up to create at an astonishingly productive level. Again, I've kind of been in business mode. I'm going to stay in business mode, but I'm going to come back and start doing some fun things I'll tell you more about philosopher-wise. But anyway, those are all the virtues I'm going to embody today. How you doing? Let's go. I've already recommitted to my sacred vow. If you invested in Heroic, bless you, thank you. You know that every morning I start my day recommitting to that sacred vow. Well, I've already done it twice. I reread my vow, and I also meditated looking at my tattoo, which is heroic, right above it, 51-20-51. I say to myself, hero, I see a world in which 51% of humanity is flourishing by 2051, and I'm going to play my role as well as I can to help create that world. Let's go. Then I reconnect to our heroic community. I'll read a note from them, which is really, really powerful. And the fastest way to boost your meaning in work, by the way, is to reconnect to one person you're blessed to serve. Boom. Deeper meaning, deeper purpose, deeper engagement. I've been crafting our vision. I've been creative before reactive. I've done deep work. I will do teamwork. I'm already crushing it, folks. Haven't read a philosopher's note yet, but I will. Those are some of my habits in the work mode. And then I've got my love. I've already had some micro connections of awesome with my wife, with my son, and with my daughter. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that. I already recommitted to my sacred vow with my wife of being married, celebrating our 50th anniversary, being best friends, being my kids' papa, etc. Anyway, I'll be hitting these targets as I go through the day. Hit that one, hit that one, hit that one. How you doing? We'll talk more about responding to bids. It's one of the most powerful ways to boost your relationships, but we'll save that for another time. This is getting long. There you go. We'll also talk about Soul Force. It is the score that we are creating to capture your superpower. All your favorite heroes, they've got Soul Force. So do you. We just need to activate it. So it starts at 80. We just launched it literally like less than a week ago. It starts at 80. You build it 1 point at a time. And you go from, baseline to optimizing to eudaimonic to activated. You get these little red circles. Kids are fired up about closing those red circles. And getting you to a Soul Force score of 101 is what my life is all about. If we can get you locked in, where you're consistently showing up every single day, doing what you know is best for you, we can get you to a point where you're showing up heroically, and we get enough of us doing it together, goosebumps, we can literally change the world together. It's what I've dedicated my life to, and appreciate you being here through this one. Can't wait to share more. Tomorrow, let's do this. How about tomorrow I will share in the next video my AM commitment routine. Before I get to this state, I'll show you what I do to tap, 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 and how in a minute or so I recommit to being my best self. That's coming soon. Appreciate you. If you want to learn more, again, go to heroic.us. You can learn more about kind of the mission, the movement, and how we intend to help you change your life. And then, of course, again, get the iOS app. Just search for Heroic. the training platform, and you can download the app. Country living, folks. I got a slow internet here. It's loading. Anyway, you know how to find apps. You type in the name of the app you would like. Heroic. Yep, the training platform. We're all in. Let's go there. And you can download that, learn more about what other people are experiencing, 5-star reviews, etc. All right. Let's make today an awesome day filled with wisdom, self-mastery, courage, love, hope, gratitude, curiosity, and zest. Day 1. Let's go.